Hello and welcome to Cutting It, the podcast for barbers by barbers. Today we have Rob. Welcome, Rob.
Yep.
All the way from Cambridgeshire.
Yeah. Well, originally Kent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you move for barbering?
No, for relationship.
Oh, okay. There we go. Well, let's not get into that. Okay, so you're here because you were a late bloomer into the barbering world. So what made you, I think it is quite a good topic because I think there's a lot of people who get to a point and think, oh, I'd love to change. I'd love to do something different, but it's scary.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what?
I'd been working for 19 years in the same job, coming up to 50, and I was like, I can't do this for another 19 years. And that's pretty much what I'm looking at for retirement. And I was like, no, I need to do something else. And I'd been getting more and more interested in barbering, and like the barbershop that I was going to was like, look pretty much like this place, really cool, like industrial chic kind of look. And I was like, yeah, I fancy some of this. So literally it was just going down YouTube and getting into that rabbit hole.
Then you started looking at courses and things like that.
Yeah, looking at courses. A guy that I know from way back, he runs a barbershop in Sheffield. So I spoke to him about ways of training, and he said, like the two choices, basically, you either go and do an apprenticeship, which wasn't really viable at my age, or go and do a course, go in at the deep end, basically. So I took that choice.
How do you do that? So you kept working in your previous job and then doing them side by side? Or?
So my missus is in accounts, and she just said, numbers. I need to know what it costs, what the course costs, what the travel's going to be, what your food every day is going to be, what your kit's going to cost, everything. And so I went out, found all that, gave her all those numbers. She came back and went, there you go, you need that much money.
Okay.
And so she was basically saying, that money will cover the mortgage for a year, and then she'll take care of all the bills. So that was me. It was like 9-week course. Then I've got the rest of the year to kind of start earning money.
Scary.
Yeah, kind of. It was scary, but it's also like a buzz. You kind of, the adrenaline that you get because you know you're taking a massive leap in faith. But I think you've got to go with it.
That idea of thinking, right, this is what I'm earning now. How do I get back to that? Or similar.
How long was it going to take as well? That was the panic. Was that how long is it going to be before I'm comfortable again? Because I was quite comfortable. Do you know what I mean? We were probably bringing in 80, 90 grand between the two of us, and you're like, we're going to cut that in half. Shit, that was it. It was panic then. But you kind of like, I knew that we had the big chunk that I'd saved and like sold my motorbike. Everything was kind of thrown into it. So I was covered for that year. So you kind of know that you're going to have some cover.
What was your impression on the time frame? How long did you think it was going to, or what? I guess because a lot of these courses and things that advertise things in a certain way to almost make you think you do this course and then you can be earning lots of money. What was your?
So the course itself, in the gump for the course, it said, yeah, you will be shop ready. Barbers are earning 30K a year. And you kind of like, well, that's not bad start.
Yeah.
But yeah, the shop ready is a different matter because that first haircut you do that you're actually getting paid for, that's panic.
Yeah.
Because you just like, oh my God, there's no one to cover for me. Like at least when you're doing it in like on the course, there's somebody there that can fix pretty much whatever you do wrong.
Yeah.
But when you're in the shop, there isn't, is it? It's you're left there.
Yeah. That must be a scary thing. It's good to hear that people have done it and doing it so well.
Yeah, it was. It was scary, but it was also good. The buzz, that first one, is like getting out of there.
Yeah, that can be scary. Do you think starting barbering later in life, does it have any benefits or challenges? Do you think it's
The challenges are people's misconceptions. Like I get so much abuse in the shop now because I'm the old man.
Yeah.
But everyone is like 30. I think in my shop there's me and Danny who are in our 50s, and everybody else is kind of like 30s, 20s, teenagers. So it's a lot of you just roll with it. But I think being older and starting, you've got that confidence in yourself. You know your own abilities. You know what you can do. and what you can't do. So you're not going to throw yourself like at 18. I'd have probably done something that I didn't have a clue about, but with naivety and stupidity, yeah, I can do that. And literally, I would just make a proper mess of someone's head. Do you know what I mean? That would be, you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done that. But as you're older, you kind of go, no, do what you know you can do, and yeah, it'll be all right.
You're a lot more comfortable with yourself as you get older.
Exactly. Yeah, and you can sit there. I think, I mean, I look at some of the apprentices we have through the shop, and they struggle to chat. They struggle to talk to like anyone, even people their own age. They're struggling. They're really like kind of tongue tied all the time. By the time you've hit your mid-40s, you'll talk to anyone, won't you?
I think because on the other side, so I started cutting hair at 16, maybe even before, and I was I was the same. I had nothing to say. I was all right with the youngsters, but not so much with the older
Yeah, the older
people,
guys.
or even people similar age. But now, so on the odd time that I do go and cut hair now, I find, which is arguably one of the most important parts about cutting hair, is the conversation, the customer service, and all that stuff. That's what makes people feel comfortable and want to come back to you. But now that flows a lot easier for me than it ever did then. So I always think, I wonder if that's like,
Yeah, I think that was very much the case because you've got that confidence in yourself. You can, and I think you know so much more now than what I did then. Do you know what I mean? You can hold a conversation on a lot of topics. Do you know what I mean? And have a little bit of knowledge on it, and just wing it, don't you? It's this kind of thing.
I think one of the other things for me, so I think, I don't know how old it was exactly, 16, 17 when I started cutting hair properly, full price. Well, you're still a child at that age, aren't you? I think. But the thing is, with that, I think people, because you're younger, people think you're new to it. They know you're new to it. But if you're a bit older, you go into a shop and they look at you and see somebody who's a bit older. They think you've been doing it for years, so that gives them a bit of comfort in getting in your chair. Whereas the younger people, sometimes I had some sort of fairly awkward conversations where I could tell the customer was sort of going over in their head. Have they been cutting hair long? But I've been cutting hair much longer than yourself.
When I first started for Goulds, I was in the shop. This was probably in the new year, so I'd probably been there less than a month. And this guy came in, and there was myself and Simone and Vicky in the shop. Now, Simone and Vicky have both been cutting hair since they were teenagers, both kind of like 30. And this guy went, "Yeah, I want him. He looks like a barber. I cut with an apron on and got the beard and everything, the look." And the two girls were just like that. "It's been cut in 2 weeks. What are you doing?" And yeah, people are, they just look and they go, "Yeah, no, he's going to be the most experienced because he's the oldest."
Yeah.
But I mean, the guy was probably 60, so.
That does. I mean, I have so many conversations with like youngsters and stuff just about their appearance and stuff, and how much difference that makes if somebody looks the part, they're dress in professional clothing and stuff like that.
Just look smart.
Just
That's
100%.
the amount of times we've said that to the youngsters in the shop. Pull your trousers up. No one wants to see your pants when you're cutting hair. It's not nice.
No.
And like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
It's fairly basic, isn't it? But yeah, I think again, like being perhaps coming into it later, I think that you already understand those things, and I think that has to be a benefit. I think
you know presentation, you know everything, you know what people expect to come into that shop. Do you know what I mean? I've been getting my hair cut since I was little. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to go into a place and it looks a mess. It's like the staff are all scruffy. It's nice to walk into a place that's spotless. All the staff are dressed pretty similar. Do you know what I mean? We all have black on all the time in the shop. It looks like you are a team and you are all together. If one of you's not towing the line or looking scruffy, they stand out so much.
Yeah.
And people will look at, "God, I don't really want him."
you had a cost. You done all your costings because your lady helped you out with what you needed to put aside for your training and stuff like that. The timeline, did what did you plan for that? And did you come in under that time frame? Did it work out in the end?
So we were like looking at a year, and I think I was the first 3 months in the shop. I was kind of growing gradually, but it was not great. I mean, it got to, I think I was probably doing, say, $1,500 a month. And then we hit a new wave of COVID, and the shop I was in was surrounded by offices. And Boris Johnson said, "If you can work from home, work from home." And literally, I went from probably doing 8 to 10 cuts a day to 1, 2, because literally the whole of our client base had just been moved. And that was at that point when I moved and went to Goulds. So yeah, literally I then went and did, I think I started Christmas week, did 4 days Christmas week, and I think I was doing 25, 26 cuts a day. Sleeping as soon as I got in, I was absolutely exhausted. But yeah, and so then I think I've done so much, built so much more from that. Like in the new year, obviously January it goes quieter, but then it kind of, I think by March it was, I'm earning enough I can start paying like back into the bills and stuff like that. And it also meant that we had like the last 3 months of my money that was put aside was basically, we used it for a holiday because I was back earning.
Oh,
And
no.
so yeah,
So
so
you've done
yeah,
it
there
quicker
was a
than you
little bit
was.
extra there
Oh, good.
afterwards. But yeah, I don't know what I'd have done if we hadn't.
Yeah. So no regrets.
No, none at all. None at all. No, it's really been, it's been really good. Good for me mentally as well, because I was doing shift work and I hated it. You know, what I mean, when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to a place that you really don't want to be at. Yeah, just hard work.
I mean, the amount of times I've been into the shop, and I don't think you've probably even realised I've been there because you're that engrossed in what you're doing and talking to your customers and working that
Yeah,
it's clear to you.
you're right. Who's that walk past? Oh, there. All right.
That's it. That's it. So if you was gonna hear some advice way back before when you was considering the idea, what would you have what would you have liked to have heard from somebody to sort of give you that push that now you've experienced it and gone and done it?
I think there's a guy I used to work with who helped his son to open his own barber shop in Cambridge. Or it was in Haverhill first. Now he's got one in Cambridge as well. And he gave me a massive boost of confidence. He said, as much as he knows in 3 years that his son's had a shop, he said, barbering is 80% chat, 20% skill. And he said, you're going to absolutely destroy the chat. He said, you've got the gab. He said, you'll do that. No problem. He said, all you've got to do is learn how to do a decent haircut and you'll just romp it. And I think that knowing that, if I'd have known that like 3 months before then, I'd have probably done it earlier. Do you know what I mean? It would have been that. If someone had said, it's not so much about a technical skill, it's about personal skills, about you being able to hold a conversation with complete strangers. And if you can do that, you can just walk it, really.
So if there's something you're considering and you know that you're an outgoing character, you're good with your personal skills and you enjoy a good chat with somebody, definitely 100% go and make the leap.
On it. Yeah. It's I think people.
I think there's it can probably do for people who want to be a little bit more like sociable and get it could also I've seen it happen. It does help bring people out.
Shy, if you were shy and you're working in a shop, I mean, you just have to. You can't not have that communication with people. You've got to be able to chat. You've got to be able to, well, to start with, you've got to be able to do your consultations. And if you can't really talk, you're going to struggle, aren't you? So it will make you get out and chat and be more forthcoming with yourself as well, because you do literally at times have to put yourself right out there. Do you know what I mean? When you're having a conversation with somebody, things come up and you're like, just like, so I worked through my dad passing away, and at the same time, literally the person 2 chairs up from me, same thing happened. And the amount of days we were in the shop, literally like fighting, not crying, because we were explaining why we were off, why we had to have the day to our clients because we'd had to rearrange and stuff. But you have to go through. And I think being my age would have made that a lot easier. Do you know what I mean? If I'd have done it in my 20s, that would have been it. I'd have had to walk out. But yeah, you hit a certain age and you go, yeah, no, I can do anything. I can take this.
And now, because you're talking about your moving area soon, are you?
Yes, yeah, we're
so doing what you've done in a relatively short period. You've built up a client base. You're doing well. So now that's giving you extra confidence now to say, right, I know that I can go to any barber shop and just
it's one of them. You kind of go, well, I've done it once, and I wasn't even that like good then. So if I can do it there, I'm going to be literally. I'm moving from one gorge to another, basically, aren't I? So you feel like it's going to be, or you hope that it's going to be the same kind of environment, same kind of team, and you can do. I won't be fearful I won't be anywhere near as fearful as I was when I first started, because I know that I can do it. And there's always clients out there, aren't there?
100%, 100%. So you would say I think one thing that, and this is, we've had lots of conversations about barbers, and like, because I tried really hard when I was learning to cut hair to really try and work on the barbering, and arguably failed on the personal interaction and stuff like that. So with that, you would tell people to sort of keep it simple, work on the people skills, really not overcomplicate it with trying to.
I think you get taught a set of basic skills. Use those basic skills and build on them. But you've got to have the interpersonal skills to be able to move with people, to like to get people on side, to get literally to get your customers coming back. You've got to be someone that can talk to them. You've got to have a rapport, certain that kind of thing. So I think it's kind of 60-40 for me. I think the rapport and everything is really, really important. But also, if you're not doing a good haircut, they're not going to come back. They're going to go, well, his chat was all right, but his cut's a bit moody. I think, I think that your basic skills, keep using them. And I mean, even now, you get someone come in and they'll want something, and you're like, oh my God, how the hell do I go about doing that? Back to basics. Just go back to the basics and then work from there. Because people will tell you what they want. They know in their head, it's like getting an interpretation of that, or going through like Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, finding the cut that they're explaining, and what like that. Yeah, to know what they want, to then just go with it.
Great.
But yeah, we were literally told this is your basic skill set, and you work everything from that.
Yeah. I worked out I'd done it all wrong. I think my age, and that's sort of like with this conversation, just like if I could have started 20 years later, I would have done better from the off.
So when I'm sitting in the shop and I see the young lads and they're flipping their scissors and they're trying to cut upside down, I'm like, are you confident doing that? We're not really. So why are you doing it? Like, literally do it on your mates. You don't do it on like paid clients. Do it on your friends. So that, like, when you're doing your videos and stuff, don't do it when we're in a busy shop as well, and you're trying to do stuff that you're not overly confident in, and they're going, I think they're like some kind of ninja with a pair of scissors, but they're just making themselves look a bit stupid.
So sum up, don't do it. Do it.
Yeah, just it. For me, it was, we're at a point where we were comfortable. We had it took me like 9 months to save the money that I needed to cover me for the next year. So I knew that I had that gap. But do it, because deep down, if you don't, you will regret that for the rest of your life. And I don't like to regret things. I'd rather regret doing it than not. So like, do it, fail. Do you know what I mean? Who cares?
There you go.
You've still done it.
And never too old, hey?
Never. I think people could get into it much later. I mean, it's something you don't see a great deal of, but older barbers. But is that because they've already retired? Do you know what I mean? They've gone, yeah, no, I've made enough. I can sit at home and do 3 a week.
I think the other thing is, which is nice about this job, is you can do it for a long time as well. You do see people cutting hair, in some cases, until they're very old. The chap I used to work with was in his 80s when I was still working in his barber shop. So I think it is nice. It can be a bit of a wind down job in some way as well, sort of set you up for something that's easier going later on, especially if you're working in like construction or something like that, which is hard.
I was working in pharmaceuticals, and I was like lumping 50-kilo barrels around and scooping. I got tennis elbow in both elbows. Like, literally, I had to have an operation for a hernia just from all the lumping.
And we're not
Picking up
saying
scissors
that
is a lot
barbering is easy either, are we? It's hard graft.
Yeah, tough. The hardest thing is just learning to stand up straight.
Yeah.
Don't bend over people, because especially at my age, that's a killer. The next day you wake up, oh my God, my back. Oh.
Right, fantastic. Well, I think we'll end on that. Thanks ever so much, Rob. Thanks for coming.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thank you.